Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are after market close on Monday, November 8th. We're going to take a look at Palantir. I do a video on Palantir every Monday, so if that's interesting to you, feel free to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so that you get those in your feed. For Palantir today, I figured we would basically go through the intraday chart, basically what happened today, take a look at the daily chart to get a sense of where we are overall, and then talk a little bit about earnings that are coming up before market open tomorrow. Is that right? Yep, prior to the opening of the markets. So today, Palantir, holding up really well. Heading into earnings, Palantir has a solid history with earnings, and so I think that might be part of why folks are coming in pretty solidly today. And then obviously it kind of just stabilized throughout the day, but what more can you expect on a day heading into earnings? And plus with a stock that's had a really solid last month or so, or maybe even last couple months, to me this was really solid, just kind of pinning itself to the VWAP, and probably algos just kind of helping it out there for most of the day today. On the daily, the overall trend that we've been watching, we're sort of at a critical point here again. So we've been in this channel since late April, early May, however you want to look at it, and sitting, a bit under mid-channel at the moment, and just getting support over this 2611 that we had put on the chart here as a support zone. And then there's this big red zone, which points out this previous topping out, which had been overcome here, and then some bad news came out and it fell right through. I've been speculating that if we're able to press strong on this red box again, that will fly right through and make an attempt at that 29.16, and that would then unlock us to that $30.55. If we're able to flip 29.16 to support. So I'm really interested to see what happens here, especially if earnings propels this through that red box. That could be a really solid unlock to the $30 price target or $30 region, and sort of help get Palantir into that next kind of decade of prices, being in the 20s and then being in the 30s and sort of getting a foothold in that range. So we'll have to see what happens, but the setup is there, in my opinion, for it to make that type of a strong movement. Now, of course, the flip side of that coin is, being that it has run up from $17 over the last, about 5.5 months to, about $26, $27 now. That's potentially a lot that's being priced in. So if there's anything that comes across as a little bit of wonky on the earnings call or on the numbers, that might certainly trigger a bigger than normal negative reaction with Palantir. But we'll have to see. I tend to think that these things run in extremes, that often if you're in an overall solid uptrend and you have a good technical setup and your earnings call is at least on pace with that it can sort of accelerate that overall uptrend and give you that additional boost to get you over some key levels that you've had a hard time with before. But the flip side of that coin is, if you're on a pretty solid uptrend and you disappoint at earnings, the fallout and the reaction from that could be quite catastrophic. So at this point, the setup is what it is on the technical side of things. It's just going to matter what comes out in that earnings call and what the guidance is and those sorts of things. So to me, that's what everything hinges on at this moment. But this is what I'm looking at on the chart. Now, for earnings, that's coming out tomorrow morning prior to the open of the markets, so it should be interesting to see what happens, and they'll have the call coming out at 8 a.m. Eastern time as well. So pretty interested to see what happens there. Now, in terms of what's been priced in, just over the last month, it's come up over 10% in price. So obviously we're extended over the consensus price target by analysts. The degree to which that matters is pretty questionable, of course, but be interested to see if this earnings call fuels any changes in these. I mean, especially at this point, a stock that I think is pretty promising in Palantir. to have 3 sells, 5 holds, and 1 buy. I don't know why Palantir has this storied history of the press and analysts really disliking it. It's what it seems. I don't know why that is, but that's always been my take on it. But you know, let's see what happens. I don't know what the why it's so out of favor with those folks, but whatever. Short interest very, very low, so not really playing a role at this point as far as I'm concerned. 3.23% of the free float being shorted per Ortex estimates. Utilization under 2, cost to borrow well under 1, days to cover under 0.5. So pretty much shorts staying out of this one at the moment. So we'll see what that call brings, but I really think that, you know, technicals being what they are, it's really up to the call at this point. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. And, you know, if it's something that warrants a video before next Monday, I'd be happy to do that. But if not, you know, we'll check in next Monday and sort of see how it digested the news and then what it's done since then. All right, folks, so I hope your trading week got off to a good start today. And as always, I appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next video.